So today we will study the last chapter from endocrinology for paper number 11. So here the chapter name is pineal gland, the location, structure and functions. So here you should know where actually the position of pineal gland. So here I draw the structure of brain of Spolydon at its ventral view. So ventral view of brain of Spolydon. Brain of Spolydon. So at its ventral view, so you know the structures. So this is the olfactory sacs. This is olfactory lobes. This is olfactory peduncle. This is a cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere. And single one. So here is the single half of the particular cerebrum. So that is treated as a cerebral hemisphere. So this one is optic lobes. So this one is optic chiasma. So here is the infundibulum. Here is the pineal gland or pineal body. So here is the location of the pineal gland in the brain part, or you can say that it's a ventral view of the brain of any animal, that is a human being actually. And this one is the hypophysis, that is the pituitary gland. So this one is again cerebellum. And this one is medulla oblongata. So likewise here is the important brain parts. So among them the pineal gland is one of the important gland, so which is located in the brain or at its epiphysis region. So that this particular gland is treated as a cerebri or epiphysis cerebri. So epiphysis cerebri, that is particularly a pine cone. You know, in botany there will be the pine tree. The pine cone shows the structure, the similar structure will be found as a pineal gland, so that the name has given the pineal gland. So pine septa, it is a small organ, so which is located geometrically center of the brain, directly at its ventral side and in the midbrain. You can say below the diencephalon or at the dorsal part of the diencephalon. So infundibulum, above that the diencephalon is there. So here is the diencephalon. So this diencephalon is the indication, and it is a reddish gray in color and approximately 10 mm in length. 10 mm in length and 1 mm in breadth in case of dog. And finally, it is surrounded by a fine capsule. So it will be surrounded around this gland. There will be a fine pineal gland, so it reflects the cerebral hemisphere laterally and looks for the small grayish bump in front of the cerebellum. So in front of the cerebellum, it looks like a bump, and at the end of the cerebral hemisphere, so they are located in between the cerebral hemisphere and in between the cerebellum. So that is the border or the middle border or middle part of the ventral brain. The pineal gland is composed of pinealocytes and glial cells. It composed of pinealocytes and glial cells. These two components are found in a particular. The pinealocytes are like a neuron, and they are stellate-like or star-shaped, while the glial cell runs between the nest of pinealocytes, and they are having the nuclei, or you can say the ovoid nuclei. And these glial cells form from the pinealocytes, which shows the accumulation of the calcium-rich part or particles in the brain sand, and that is treated as a brain sand. And you know, the particular gland, it shows the different functions. So there are different functions located, or you can say attributed to the particular gland. So that is the regulation of biorhythms. So that is the main function, biorhythms of the body. So that will be get maintained. So that is it is one of the brain part, and with the environment, it is responsible for secreting melatonin. Melatonin, a type of hormones they are secreting, and that secretion is synthesized from serotonin, and this hormone is involved in regulation of circadian and infrared rhythms. Infrared rhythms will be maintained by this melatonin, and this melatonin, you know, melanin hormone is responsible for imparting color to the body. So likewise here, this hormone, this pineal gland, then proceeds to secrete the hormones known as melatonin, and this melatonin will also in presence of the illumination. However, the production of melatonin is inhibited. So that is the first function. Then the second is the development of maturation. The maturation is also concerned with this hormone secreted by this pineal gland. So this secretion is mainly regulated by the pineal gland. Then the sexual behavior. The third function is sexual behavior. Mainly this pineal gland actively participate in the secretion of various hormones, among which they are useful in menstrual cycle. The menstruation in a woman, specifically the luteinizing and follicle stimulating hormones, they are concerned with the secretion of these two hormones, luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. So that means they are taking part to maturate the ovum, and that maturate ovum are ready for fertilization. That means they are useful for sexual behavior. Then particularly by regulating the biological rhythms through the melatonin, the epiphysis also influences seasonal sexual behavior in other animals species. The pineal gland interacts with other structures linked to sexuality, such as septal nuclei, to guarantee the correct functioning of this important activity from the point of view of evolution. So animals, this hormone will activate, or the pineal gland will activate the sexuality or sexual behavior in opposite animal. So next is the emotion and happiness. The emotion and happiness is also concerned with the particular gland. So as you know the function of cerebral hemisphere, you know the function of cerebral hemisphere. So what are the functions of cerebral hemisphere? It is a seat of intelligence, emotions, willpower, and controlling body activities, voluntary activities of the body, and coordination. So among them, the skill development, or you can say the seat of intelligence, emotions, and that emotions is concerned with this hormone. The happiness and allow to regulation of the pains if something happens to the body. Suppose there are some wound to the body. If something happens immediately or unfortunately, so there will be the pain, and that pains will be get relieved by showing the happiness and regulation of the pains. In fact, its involvement in the limbic system makes a fundamental component of emotional processes, and it depends upon the interaction between the brain and the organs distributed throughout the body that secrete the hormones. So that is most important. The organs in the body, so which are secreting the particular hormone, so that coordination will be carried out by the pineal gland. Then next, that is the pigmentation. So pigmentation is also one of the important function. So melanin secreted by the pineal gland participates in the pigmentation of the skin. You know the melanin hormone, which is a secretion of the pineal gland, so that will be giving or imparting color to the skin of the body, and this pigmentation will be regulated by the pineal gland, giving slight dark tone in multiple species, and this function is a secondary function of the pigmentation by the pineal gland. So in other hand, in cases that is albinism, this functions disappear. You know the albinism. So in this particularly, the particular animal doesn't show the color. They are not having the color. So for example, the white crow or in a rabbit. You know the rabbit is having a white color. So suppose in crow, the white color forms. So that is particularly albinism. It will also shows with all the biological and social problems that this entitles. Then the participation in other aspects of by the pineal gland has to do with the regulation of the body. The pineal gland has been studied for many countries in many centuries, or you can say, and this particularly the pineal gland begins to function scientifically, studied based on the study of the cases of patients with the tumors in this area. So there are several species of the human being will be treated, and that will be calculated, the tumor calculation, and it will be showing some different effects. Then it has been demonstrated that it is photosensitive, reacting to the level of the ambient light. So that type of person which shows the photosensitivity to the eyes, so that will also immediately note and particularly the Dancecephalon. You know, the presence of this particular gland is at the base of Dancecephalon and in particular and in between the cerebral hemisphere at the above and below there is a cerebellum. So such type of pineal gland, it shows the particular location and it's a ventral side of the particular brain. In any brain and its ventral position, the particular gland is located. Then we have studied the structure, how it is. It looks like, and as we have studied the functions of different functions of pineal gland. So this is the only information. In different books, you will get the again a few more information to calculate or to study in detail. But for your study, the only structure, location, and functions are mentioned. So likewise here, we have completed the particular topic from your syllabus. Okay.